Hello, everyone. Dr. Christina Cantu here, Doctor of Naturopathic Medicine, and you are watching Natural Talk TV. This is the place to be to create a life that is happy and healthy naturally. Now, today we are going to talk about how to get over the flu in 24 hours. We previously did an episode about how to boost your immunity naturally, and we talked about a lot of great things you could do and a lot of great things you could take. Actually getting over the flu looks a little bit different. Now, we've had a lot of people come in with the flu this past season, and some of them come when they're, maybe 7 days post as far as catching it. Some come right away. And either way, nobody wants to suffer for very long. And I know a lot of people have been just, catching it. And it's been crazy this season with the flu. And so I recently caught it myself, and I was able to get over it in 24 hours. I've been able to help others do the same, and so we thought we'd make a video and we talk about it here today because I think that's what some people might be interested in, according to your emails anyway. And so this is what it looks like. Or this is what I looked like when I got up. I'll tell you my own story. So I got up and I felt like vomiting. I had a 101-degree fever. And I also had chills. I had body aches all over my body. And I had a headache where I felt like I couldn't even really think. I couldn't even really focus. And so, I don't even think I've ever had that compendium of symptoms before. I don't think I've ever felt like that. I've also never had the flu before. And so this was the first time for me. And I felt horrible. I felt just terrible. And I couldn't see patients that day. I couldn't do anything. I had to take a day off. But I cannot afford, as many of you cannot, I cannot afford to be out for very long because I have 3 babies. I have life. I don't want to be sick. And so this is what I did. This is going to be my flu protocol from now on. And I'm going to share it with you. This is what I did to be able to get better so much faster. So first of all, I started hitting myself with vitamin C. I use ascorbic acid. You can use any kind you want. And, there's a sodium ascorbate, there's buffered vitamin C as well. All of them, from the research that I've read, they all work extremely well. But I use ascorbic acid. So I started hitting myself with vitamin C, and I did 1 gram every single hour that day because I really wanted to get better. And so that was the first thing that I did. The second thing I did was oregano oil. And I it says on the bottle, it says 2 drops, 2 drops or more. And I think I might have done maybe 10. I might have done 10 drops or so just because at that time, I've been doing 2 drops for a very long time, and so at that time I just really wanted to kick it, and it didn't do anything to my stomach or anything. The way it might pose a problem for some people like that, but I think because I've had such a tolerance, I was able to tolerate it really well. So I did 10 drops. I didn't do any more that day, but I did 10 drops, so I think that was a big piece of it. I also did vitamin D. I took about 10,000 to maybe 12,000 IUs of vitamin D. I also did elderberry. Elderberry is fantastic for shortening the symptoms of any flu or cold that you might have. So I did elderberry. My elderberry had a little bit of OSHA and a little bit of echinacea in it. And so mine was called Elderberry Plus. And so I did that. I did that about twice a day or so. And then I took probiotics, and I took a really large dose. I took maybe divided throughout the day, I took maybe about 40 billion or so. And so that was a big piece of my picture as well. And so already that was, vitamin C, oregano oil, vitamin D, elderberry, probiotics. And I also started taking gelsemium. That is a homeopathic remedy. And I took gelsemium 200C because that one was spot on for what I was going through. And with the body aches and the head pain and the chills and just everything that I had, it was just screaming gelsemium. So gelsemium was a huge piece as well. Huge, huge piece. I kept doing that maybe every other hour throughout the day. A few other things that I did Wim Hof breathing. If you've never heard of Wim Hof, please go Google him or go YouTube him or something. He has amazing free tutorials that you can use to be able to alkalize, make your body alkaline. I'm sorry, I always struggle with that word. Make your body more alkaline just by breathing. It's amazing. I do this every single day. It's amazing how much better I feel. It's very subtle when you're doing it, but it's amazing how much better it makes you feel just in general. Well, it helped me feel better with all of my symptoms, and I know for sure with your body being more alkaline, that's going to really, really aid your process of healing very, very quickly. At night, I also did wet socks. If you've never heard of wet socks is basically where you get a pair of socks, and they should be thin cotton socks. You wet them and you wring them out really well, and then you stick them in the freezer or you stick them in the refrigerator or something just for a little bit to make sure that they're cold. And then you put them on at night, and then you cover them with wool socks or other socks to make sure your sheets don't get wet and everything. And you go to bed. And that does amazing things for your immunity. It boosts your immunity. It helps you to get better faster. You just feel better. Sometimes I do that even when I just don't feel right or I'm tired or something. And I feel so much better the next day. But I did that at night. An alternative you can do to that, and this is what I did this time, I felt like I really couldn't tolerate the cold very well. And so instead of doing that, I put one of my homemade salves on my feet. So that's almost just as well, almost just as good. And it's just not cold. That's all. And so, but it does stimulate your immunity, and it stimulates everything about all of your healing mechanisms just to move that much faster. I had a homemade salve with herbs and with essential oils, and it was all kinds of goodness. So it kind of does the same thing. And I also did bone broth throughout the day because I was nauseous and I felt like vomiting. I really didn't want to eat very much, even though I was hungry. And so I thought, well, let me do some bone broth. I had some leftover bone broth that I made just the other day. And so I had bone broth, and then I had rice, and I had that kind of all throughout the day to make sure that I was hydrated and that I was fed, but I wasn't too fed to the point where I was going to vomit or something. And so that's what I did this time, and that's what I'm going to do every time. And I tried this out, and I've had other people have very similar success. And yes, it is a lot of stuff. Do you need all of that? There is no way to know. It's just what I did. And so I thought I would share it with you all because it definitely worked. The next morning, I was 100% better, 100% better. And I was able to go out and do my normal stuff and be with my family and help people get better. And that's really what this whole thing is about, me being able to help people. So hopefully you find it useful. Hopefully it helps somebody out. Now, I want to hear from you all. Is there something that you go to? What is your go-to for the flu or for a cold? So it could be herbs, it could be vitamins, it could be anything. It could be. I had somebody tell me it was tequila for them, and so it could be anything at all. So this could be really important for someone in this boat to hear right now, and it could be helpful for someone that's either going through the flu or just getting over it. So head on over to my Facebook page, facebook.com/ChristinaCantu-ND, and leave a comment right now. And while you are there, be sure to like and follow the page. You'll get some exclusive content, some special giveaways, and some insider-only secrets that I don't share anywhere else. So remember that building the life and health you want happens one step at a time. Don't forget to stop and enjoy the journey. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Natural Talk TV.